The Nerlin Nerds podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Nerlin Nerds with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the pop culture topics that interest us and those minor details that irritate us.
All right, so let's get to Dina.
Okay.
Because I can't remember her fate in the game.
I
know one
she
of
lives.
But the boy doesn't.
I don't think so, no. Yeah, and again, brilliant casting, because in the game it's an Asian dude.
And it's a big Asian dude,
yeah.
relatively speaking to everybody else. So yeah, perfect casting.
Yeah, I think, he gets lost in the early melee. You're right, like, I gotta go fucking back and play part 2.
Exactly.
But no, Dina lives because one of her big things is to try and stop Ellie from going off on her own.
Oh,
when
you're
the time
right.
comes.
Yeah, when the time comes.
And that's after they've coupled together. Okay, spoiler alert, they're lesbians.
Yeah. Exactly.
They fucking nailed that dance scene, man. Like,
yeah, perfect. And even the guy showing up and Joel showing, like, that was...
Did you notice who the actor was?
No, because I was
the homophobic actor? Robert Burke. RoboCop number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew he looked familiar, but I was just, like, in awe that they nailed the scene as beautifully as they did. Yeah.
And I think it's like...
That whole party.
Yeah.
What was it for again? New Year's?
Yeah, New Year's.
Right? Because they had fireworks.
Yeah.
Because that's the greatest thing to do.
That fucking line, you're in a church. Like, everybody's blitzed out of their mind.
Do you see these two girls kissing?
I mean, I'm assuming it wasn't a Catholic church.
No, it was like a religious hall.
Right.
It was a fucking barn, is what it was. Right. That had, like, I don't know.
But that, I love the sequence of that because, and God bless, we do not deserve Pedro Pascal. The look of hurt on his face when she just screams at him in front of everybody.
Yeah.
It was like, and again, I'm not a parent. I can only imagine, like, and I'm sure every parent goes through that at some point when your kid, like, looks at you dead serious and is like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
The pain that must feel like.
Yeah, I get pain when I just get attitude.
Yeah.
It's like, that hurts my fucking feelings. Stop it.
I raised you.
God, I know I'm not the best dad, but come on. I can tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah.
Although she just had her first, not her first kiss because she was in love before, but like,
yeah,
you know, her first post trauma. Now that she's been back 5 years, I love that they jumped 5 years too.
Oh yeah.
Great. Just like we talked about yesterday. I was like, they're going to start in the town and work their way through it.
Yeah.
I was not expecting what they did with the cold open.
No, but I mean, from what I remember, that's the way the game started.
See,
they started with the promise on the hilltop.
I remember that.
And then they went to, and that's when they first introduced Abby.
I didn't realize it
Although
was that
Abby
soon.
might have been after, the grave site with Abby might have been a flashback when they were already in the ski lodge. God
damn it, that ski lodge. When they showed that ski lodge at the end, knowing that that's where they're
headed. After the unmentionable event that
fucking hell.
But
yeah, go ahead.
That's what we were saying, is that, like, I think that's the idea with this one, is that they know they can't do the whole part 2 in one season. So now you have that breath where it's like, okay, we can really establish the beginning of this storyline.
They already have season 3 listed.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's no way.
7 episodes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the time. Last night was an hour. but it doesn't have the times. It just lists the dates they come out and the name of the episodes.
So, well, theoretically, what you could end this season on is the unmentionable.
Right.
And then you have 3 more seasons? 2, at least.
2, and then if...
God, that's fucking genius.
So...
You establish Abby.
Yeah.
And the vitriol of Abby. And then you set Ellie up for this insane transition.
Correct. And she spends all 3rd season...
Just ripping shit up.
Yeah, no, she goes Wyatt Earp. Tell him Hal's coming. Yes, she is. Yeah, she's gonna go Wyatt Earp post. Not Virgil, but his other brother died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Now, is it Emmett? No.
No, Emmett was the
sheriff.
Sheriff. Morgan.
Yeah, Virgil and Morgan.
So yeah, she's going to be Wyatt Earp post Morgan, where he just scorched Earth. I can't wait, but you're right. You saved that till season 3.
Right, because Druckmann, when part 2 came out, he's on record of saying, Last of Us Part 1, the video game, is about love, right? The lengths you go to for love of, someone you care for.
Right.
Philia or what, not lust or whatever. And then he was like, Part 2 is hate.
What you will do.
For hate.
Correct.
And you get it from 2
Both
different
sides.
storylines.
Yep.
And of course, that's the, and we could just talk Part 2 in general.
Yeah, so that exactly
of this is that, so what the audience has to look forward to with this is that you get, so one storyline of hate creates the second storyline of hate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing, like, anytime I hear the name Abby, I'm transported back to that game of hating her fucking guts.
Yep. And
then as you're playing through, doubting your initial judgment.
Correct.
And then still in the end being like, I fucking hate her guts.
It's like a good wrestling heel.
Yes.
Yep.
But
and here's the thing. I heard, wrestling's on, it's WrestleMania week. Triple H was explaining he and John Cena's thing, right? Then turning heel.
Yeah.
And his thing was, if you're a heel, you're a bad guy, you have to have some logic in why you are a terrible person, a heel, as it were. Whether it makes sense or not. But
I think John Cena's explanation made all the sense in the world.
Logical. Exact. Yeah. Like Seth Rollins is logical about his hatred for Punk, right?
Yeah.
You may not agree with it or whatever, but you can't poke too many holes in it.
I mean, what the whole scene of breaking up and being like, I gave you this and you laughed.
Right.
I did this and you demanded more.
I did this and you booed at me.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what it was like the second half of the game.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I can kind of understand. It's just been through some shit. There's some trauma, and I'm trying to be as vague as possible. There's some trauma there. I get it. But you're right.
Well,
by the end, you're still like.
What we know is this. I mean, and they set it up in episode 1 of season 2, which is Joel killed Abby's father.
Yeah, correct. And he is.
That's not a big spoiler if you don't know who the role was.
And his therapist is the wife.
Is she the wife?
Well, she said you killed my husband.
Right, but I don't think it was. But it was like the year prior.
So it wasn't the doctor.
No.
Okay.
Not in the hospital.
That's what, because I was like,
remember,
holy shit.
Hospitals in Colorado, that
so
settlements
we don't even
in Wyoming.
know what happened with him killing her husband.
Not yet, which I assume we're going to get backstory
because that's completely new.
Right, yeah.
So, and they're geniuses about, like, the Bill episode.
Yeah.
In the first season. Like,
I'm still telling you, man, if you haven't done it, Craig Mazin did Chernobyl.
I know. I know.
And I think I've now watched that like 4 times.
I know. And
it's 6 episodes. It's super quick.
And the terrible thing is, it's just dialogue for the most part.
Yeah.
So like after the first episode, I know who's talking. I can just listen to it like an audio.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know.
Even at home, you can, like, the wife can be on Animal Crossing and you still know what the fuck's going on.
But yes.
Yeah. Well, no, you got to pay attention to that shit. But yeah.
No, but she can still. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he did Chernobyl. Like he was the showrunner.
Yeah.
Like he is for this.
Yeah.
But Druckmann is involved.
Druckmann's like a co-showrunner.
Right, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
He's not an executive producer or anything, but he's got his.
No, they are. I mean, yeah, they're both executive producers on it, but the creative is it's Druckmann's idea.
Well, clearly,
and then Mason is like, okay, this will work for TV.
This is right.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to translate this
right.
story that you've told to television.
Right, which is like that's what going back to season 1, the behind the scenes with the Bill episode.
Right.
Druckmann was like, I never even thought of this, and Craig comes in and he's like, hey, what if we did it this way? And it was like, that's 10 times better than I ever fucking thought. Because in the game,
all of that entire episode
is backstory.
And it's all notes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like letters you read.
Or you got to explore that room in the house where you find the body.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's like notes and like the note was like, I killed myself because of you or something along those lines.
And there's a point in the video game where you can give the note to Bill.
Right.
And he like looks at it, he's like, I ain't got fucking time for this.
Yes.
And that's W. Earl Brown in the video game.
I can't picture his face.
Frankenbeans.
Really?
Also,
thanks.
Also, Dan from Fuck Me.
I mean, I know the
Big
face.
Dan from Deadwood. I don't know why that took me so long. Swearingen's right-hand man.
That's why he looks so familiar.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I knew he looked familiar. Hey, Rhea.
And then they got Nick from Parks and Rec to play him in the show.
I know who they got.
Yeah.
I mean,
funny thing is,
it's Ron Swanson.
Yeah. Well, I always want to call him Nick Offerman.
Mm-hmm.
Also, narrated the Oscars this last year. Anyway, but the dude who played Frank.
I knew who he was, but I didn't know who he was.
Australian actor. He was in the first season of The White Lotus. He's now
I've never watched that. Is that any good?
It's good. It's funny.
Jack, the son, watches it.
Remember that movie Chuck and Buck?
No.
From way back in the day? Well, it's the guy who wrote that, Mike White. He's just really kind of. He was an oddball kind of independent filmmaker.
Right.
And then
he's not like Wes Anderson. What's his face?
No, not that cheeky.
I don't like that guy.
No, I mean, but no, it's funny.
I didn't realize it was
amazing.
I didn't realize it was funny. I thought it was more like a murder, crazy.
It is,
shit.
yeah, but it's yeah. But
were they on an island?
Well, so the White Lotus is a chain of resorts. So each season is a different cast in a different location. Yeah.
Like an anthology, that's what they call that?
Yeah, exactly. So first season, Frank is the hotel manager, and he's like a closeted gay man. And then he finds the Sweeney, that it girl right now. She's in the first season. He finds a bunch of their drugs and... is it Kara Sweeney? No.
Nope. Sydney
Sweeney, yeah. And they're like, these rich pricks, and they leave their drugs on the beach, and the hotel manager finds them, starts doing them, and then he just decides he wants to bang half the staff.
Really? That's the premise of the first, for the most part.
Of his character.
Yeah.
But it's a whole... It's
a rotating cast of people who are staying at this resort.
Yeah, and you're following like these 8 different people. So Steve Zahn is in season 1. Our boy, Zahn Solo. The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Nerla Nerds podcast is a production of Pulpery Media. Produced and edited by Ben Grimion. Marketing by Brock Ryder. Graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion. Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.